Hello, beautiful yogis, and welcome to today's class. We're going to start standing with our feet about hip distance apart. So our standing water wheel breaths are amazing for us to let go of any tension that we may be carrying, as well as to center us and set us up for our practice today. So when you're ready, you might like to bend the knees a little bit if that feels good for you. And on your inhale, we're going to stretch the arms up towards the ceiling and then look up towards your fingertips. Nice big breath in. And then exhale through the mouth. Push the walls away from you. Really start to let it go. Do that again. Bend the knees as you inhale, a bigger breath. As you look up towards the ceiling, look up, stretch up. And then exhale through the mouth, really let it go. Push the walls away from you, breathing out all the way. Do that again. Inhale, bigger bend in the knees as you look up, reach up, stretch up. And then exhale, empty all of the air out, push the walls away. Two more. Inhale, make them bigger. Stretch the arms up, eyes up, look up, reach up. And then exhale through the mouth. Let it go. One more time. Inhale, look up, stretch up, breathing in all the way to the top. And then exhale, empty it all out, let it go, push it all away. You might want to shake out your wrists, your legs. Awesome work, everyone. Now, come to the top of the mat. We're going to move into a modified chair to start to work our quads, our glutes, and again, our core. So make sure the feet are hip distance apart. You've got two options with the hands. You can stretch the arms forward so the fingertips are in line with the shoulders, or you might like to cross opposite hand onto opposite shoulder if that feels better for you. So choose your hand placement, shifting the body weight back towards the heels. Take a breath in and then exhale. You're going to sit all the way back into the chair. So imagine there's a chair behind you. It kind of feels like you're falling all the way backwards, but as you either stretch the arms forward or if your hands palms are crossed, really draw the navel into the spine. Good. And then slowly pushing back up. Do that again, belly button drawn in, and then sit back down into the chair, maybe a little bit lower. Keep your eye gaze forward, keep the breath flowing, sit back, way back, and then push back up. Good. Again, take a breath in, and then exhale, sitting all the way back into the chair. You'll start to feel those legs shake maybe a little bit. You're building strength. Breathe here. And then exhale, pushing all the way back up. We'll do two more. Inhale, exhale, sitting all the way back into that chair. Belly button drawn in, sit a little bit lower. And then pushing all the way back up. One more time, draw that navel to the spine. And then exhale, sit back, way back, go back, fall back. Hold this one for 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Slowly coming up. Shake it out again if you need to before we move into our next posture. So this time we're moving into a crescent lunge. So I find it easier to bring my hands to my hips, so you can do the same. Make sure those feet are hip distance apart, and we're going to go ahead and step that left leg back as far as we can. Those of you that need to make a modification to make it easier, you can drop to the knee and keep the toes tucked, or if you can, keep that knee off the floor. You can keep those hands on your hips, or you might like to bring your hands into prayer. So see if you can start to put a little bit more weight into that right leg, that right knee. Belly button drawn in. If your knee is on the floor, see if you can lunge a little bit more further into that right leg and hold. Good. Find a point in front of you to focus on. This is starting to activate the quad. Make sure you draw that navel into the spine to work the core. Breathing, holding, focus for 3, 2, 1, good. Slowly coming back up, and we're going to go straight to the other side. So when you're ready, extend that right leg back. So some of you might want to look back to see where that foot is placed, bending this time into the left leg. If you dropped to the left knee, this time drop to the right knee so that you're nice and even, or you might like to play with lifting that back knee off the floor. Hands can still be on the hips if that's easier for you, or hands in prayer position. Wherever you're at, see if you can start to lunge a little bit more into that left leg, left knee. Remember to breathe, belly button drawn in, holding strong, focus and concentrate for 3, 2, 1, beautiful. Slowly coming back up. Give your legs a little bit of a shake. That's awesome work, everyone. And make sure those feet are nice and wide, a little bit wider than hip distance apart. We're moving into our ragdoll. So bend the knees a lot, and this time we're going to bend the upper body down all the way, fingertips to the floor. Relax the head, relax the neck, and maybe grab your opposite elbow. So this is called ragdoll. Close down your eyes. Just allow your belly to rest on your thighs and let the upper body hang. Some of you might like to sway from side to side, relaxing the head, relaxing the neck. Breathe. This is a really beautiful pose to do after a busy day. It's also a great pose to do if you feel a little bit overwhelmed or anxious. So we're getting a lot of blood flow to the head, to the brain, helping to rejuvenate, re-energize, and revitalize our brain cells. Some of you, if you want a little bit more intensity, you can start to straighten those legs, so push the knees back. If you're not there just yet, that's okay. Keep the knees bent and just gently rocking from side to side. Head is relaxed, shoulders are relaxed, upper body is relaxed. Breathing for 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Slowly rolling up. We're going to roll up nice and slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae. And then once you reach the top, rolling those shoulders back and down at least 3 or 4 times, just to get a little bit more opening into the neck and to the shoulders. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to do that one more set with our crescent lunge. So coming back to the top of the mat, feet are hip distance apart, so hands to your hips, and this time stepping the left leg back first. Now, if you drop to the knee in the first set, then maybe try to keep that back knee off the floor, but if you need to drop to the knee, absolutely fine. Might even like to play with bringing your hands into prayer, or some of you, if you want a little bit more intensity, might like to lift the arms up with those hands palms apart. Wherever you are, be there fully, leaning into that right leg, drawing that navel to the spine, finding a point of focus in front of you, and breathing, holding, focus. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Slowly coming back up to the top of the mat and going to the other side. So stepping that right leg back, hands on your hips if that's easier. You can drop to the knee, or maybe challenge yourself by lifting that back knee off the floor. Your challenge might be bringing your hands into prayer. If you want more intensity, you might like to lift those arms up with the palms away from each other. So try to focus on a point in front of you. This will help with your balance. Keep the belly button drawn in. Focus, concentrate. Breathe and hold for 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Slowly coming back up. Shake it out. Amazing work, everyone. Okay, and when you're ready, we're going to find our way onto our stomach. So coming all the way down onto your stomach. Whatever way you choose to get there is absolutely fine. We're going to move into a baby back bend. So this is called cobra pose, and this is amazing to start to create more flexibility into our lower back. It's also great if you experience any digestive issues as well as any abdominal issues. So bringing your hands, palms onto the floor, fingertips in line with the tops of the shoulders and the baby fingers in line with the outsides of the shoulders. Keeping the feet together, point the toes, eyes forward, take a breath, and now look up and lift up. So using your back strength, push your hands into the floor a little bit, but try to use your lower back strength to lift up. Start to squeeze those elbows in and down. Looking forward, maybe even starting to look up towards the ceiling. Feel that deep stretch into the lower spine. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Slowly lower down, release. Good. Just take a breath here. And then on the exhale, let it go. We'll do that again. Take a breath in, press the tops of the feet into the floor, look up, and then start to lift up. Maybe you can get a little bit higher. Squeeze the elbows in, drop the shoulders down. Maybe even look up a little bit more. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower down. One more time. Take a breath. Exhale, let it go. Now push the tops of the feet into the floor. Inhale, look up and lift up. Try to get to your highest point. This is the last one here. Squeeze your elbows in, drop your shoulders down, push the tops of the feet into the floor, look up and lift up, squeeze, hold for 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower down. Awesome work. Bring the left ear to the floor, look to the right, arms by your side, palms facing up, let it go. Just feel that heat that you've created in the spine. So much opening, so much strengthening. Feel the impact of your poses on your body. Good. Now turn your head to the left. Bring your right ear to the floor. You can close the eyes down if that feels good. Just breathe. Feeling, noticing, and observing. Beautiful. And bringing your hands, palms underneath your shoulders. We're going to push up into our final pose. So just start off on all fours into our tabletop position. So wrists are under shoulders, knees are under the hips, toes untucked. Child's pose to end. So bring the big toes to touch. Some of you might like to bring the knees out a little bit wider and then start to bring the hips down towards your heels as you stretch the fingertips towards the top of the mat. Try to bring your forehead to the floor. If you can't bring the forehead to the floor, that's okay. Relax the head and the neck as much as possible and feel that really deep stretch into the shoulders, the shoulder blades, and at the same time, press your hips down towards your heels. So child's pose is a pose that we come to quite often. It's really grounding and really nourishing, but it's also a great posture to help open up our hips as well as lengthening and opening up our spine and our shoulders. So again, don't worry so much if your hips aren't close to your heels or your forehead isn't to the floor. Just try to close the eyes and find a little bit of stillness in this shape. Child's pose is helping to reset, and it's helping to kind of slow down the thoughts that we are faced with day to day that tend to run around in our minds, in our heads. So by focusing on our breathing, we can start to slow down those thoughts, and we can start to be more connected with the present moment. Good. See if you can stretch the fingertips a little bit more forward. Hips towards your heels. For 3, 2, 1. So beautiful, everyone. Slowly coming out of that shape and then finding your way onto your backs with your legs long, your arms long, arms by your side, palms facing up, closing down your eyes in your Savasana dead body pose. Just feeling all of those amazing benefits from working hard in your legs, your glutes, your thighs, your spine. And with all of that in mind, bring your hands into prayer, bowing down to your own greatness. From my heart to your heart, Namaste.